Good day. How you going? What do you know? Don't strike a light. Good day. And how you going? Just say good day, and you'll be right.
Now we come to the portion of the service before we do our Bible study that we address some end times news and trends that are happening as it relates to Bible prophecy. And it was a busy week in a lot of other aspects, and again with the whole North Korean summit, which was very successful, which a lot of people were very negative about from the outset. But to see how North Korea would denuclearize, which is a huge bonus for the Korean Peninsula. When it comes to peace in the world, that's a great step. But the next big shift in focus, which it has been on the agenda item, is the peace in the Middle East. And so this week, the envoys going over to the Middle East, to Israel, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, now Jordan and Qatar. So they're going to have all the input with those surrounding countries as well. And they already met with the UN Secretary General and also Ambassador Haley with the U.S. Ambassador to the UN to discuss more of these plans and what they're trying to roll out. And the question is when they're going to do it, not if they're going to do it. So this is a huge stepping stone. At some point it will happen, a peace plan. Whether it's Trump's peace plan or some other country's plan to work through and negotiate. But there will be a plan in place that the Antichrist has to sign. Not saying that the plan that they're putting here is going to be that one. We don't know for sure, but we do know that there will be some sort of agreement to make peace there, especially in Israel, and most likely to be able to build the third temple. They're ready to build it. They're just waiting for the confirmation to go on to the Temple Mount, which has been, controlled by the Muslims, and really Jordan's the one that controls that area. But there will probably be part of the peace plan, the ability to build the third temple. So that is another prophetic important note to keep in mind. So again, this will be another big conversation and part of the prophetic that we see. There will be a plan in place, and eventually the Antichrist will sign something like that. Also within the Middle East, Hamas prepares 5,000 terror kites to end the mark of Ramadan. And so they've got these fire kites and balloons that they can put into the air to go into deep area of Israel to, again, a more terrorist attack type opportunity for them. And so they say that the Hamas the kit unit, if Jerusalem doesn't make use of the opportunity that we're given it to end the Gaza siege, then Israeli communities will enclave to live under siege of these kites, claiming that these kites would reach a range of 40 kilometers inside of Israel. So we'll see how this pans out. It could just be threats, like they've been threatening many times before, but they have the ability to launch these things and to move these things into Israeli territory. And then finally, on an interesting note, you do see different countries and the chaos and the problems that's going around the world. We've talked about Venezuela, the crisis that's happening there. You see what goes on in Cuba. But another thing that's hit the radar, and we've heard about these things for quite some time, the issues going on in Mexico. There's been some 114 assassinations in 10 months for their political people either running for office or they're in office. That's a lot of chaos that's happening there. Part of it's the cartel. There's just a report that just happened this other day. Western town in Mexico running for re-election has been killed. He's the 16th candidate murdered ahead of the July 1st elections. So you have 16 candidates that are, being assassinated or killed. They can't even get into office, because of the threat, because of the stronghold that this town has. And so there's going to be a lot of political unrest. A lot of this happens with other countries as well. And there's so many countries, they're looking for political solutions, economic solutions, social solutions. And there's going to be someone that's going to come in his name, and he's going to bring that peace and security and safety. He's going to have all the answers that everyone's looking for. And so we can see that certain countries are ripe for to buy into this individual, the Antichrist, eventually, as we know him to be. So it's just something that's interesting to see as you're looking at what's going on around the world. This is one of those situations where some people are crying out peace and safety, everything's fine. Everything's not fine, as we can see in this case in Mexico. So that's it for today's update.